What Jake draw. Let's watch Jake draw. Let's draw.
Hello everyone, I am Anu Nicholas Jacob and we have a really interesting session today. We are going to be creating a comic book from start to finish. So let's get into it right now.
This is a 3-page comic that I am creating. This story has predominantly 2 characters. And the first character is an old lady. And the second character is a middle-aged man. I have fleshed out the characters and now I need to start inking the characters. As always, I am using a tapered brush. I have drawn the first character in 2 poses. One, a 3/4 profile of her face. Now that is done. And the second is a full frontal pose. All the characters I like to draw having a smile on their faces. Later on, as per the story's requirement, I can add the expressions after erasing the smile. The second character is inspired by the Joker character in Batman comics. Both the characters are drawn, and the name of the story is A Parrot in Peril. In the first panel, we see the old lady. She is walking and she's got a stick in her hand. The second panel has a young lady and her son. Both of them are seated and are having a conversation with the old lady. She's got a teacup in her hand. They're sitting on a couch. The third panel has the young lady making a point. And we see the old lady right in front, closest to the camera. And there's that young boy again. And the fourth panel has the old lady. She's having an animated conversation with a parrot. The parrot is placed in a cage. And this is the last panel of the page. Here we have the old lady again, along with the parrot. And you can see the parrot has a scowl on its face. And the middle-aged gentleman is standing in a side profile. Yes, the whole page is ink, is penciled. Now let's get into the inking. As always, I am using a tapered brush. I can get the thick and thin very nicely. The old lady looks a little sullen. I need to capture that expression on her face. So I am taking those faces which I had earlier drawn and I am resizing it and placing it on all the panels. After that, I just need to erase out the happy expression and place the appropriate expressions. Yeah, I'm doing the resizing of the faces. Actually, art is very relaxing. Everybody can put a pencil onto paper and draw a dot or a line or a box or a circle. Drawing is nothing but putting these shapes together. Of course, nothing can replace practice. But practice with intention As you can see, I'm drawing fluid strokes. Try and do long strokes instead of doing many tiny strokes. Because the smaller lines, in drawing the smaller lines, the fluidity or the spontaneity of the lines will be lost. A continuous stroke is more appealing to the eye. One needs to realize that everything has a rhythm. The cloth folds, the hair, water. Once you figure that out, the drawing will be easier. As you can see, I'm drawing the lady. She's got large, expressive eyes and a smile. And here you see the character close to the camera, and you can see that the lines are very thick. Drawing hands requires a lot of practice. And here you see the parrot in the cage. He's got a puzzled expression in the previous panel, and here he's got a scowl on his face. Okay, the last panel of the page, the man is being inked. Yeah, you have the whole page inked and ready for color. I have a nice color palette ready, and I'm starting to color the lady. I've chosen that her clothes be dark, and I put a grey color on her hair, which I'll further lighten with white. And the young lady's got blondish hair, and the boy has got reddish brown hair. And here you see the middle-aged man having blue hair. We have to just experiment and see with what works best. So I've got a palette now ready for the shading. I'm imagining the light from the top right falling on the characters, and the appropriate depth, the shadows are being applied. And even the skin tones of those characters are all different. Now all the shadows are being applied. Now I have started applying the highlights. A lighter shade of the same color is being applied. The boy's hair is done. The girl's clothes and the boy's clothes. And the couch I have colored in a pastel pink shade. Now I'm adding a darker shade to the parrot, and I'm adding some highlights on the parrot. Yes. Now I have added the dialog boxes and the backgrounds. It's time to get into the story.
Matilda was an elderly lady who stayed by herself. These lonely walks are getting on my nerves. Let me visit my daughter. Humans need company. You need someone to talk to. I can't employ someone who will sit beside me the whole day, talking to me. I have an idea. Why don't you buy a parrot? Great, come with me. I know a good pet store. The lady bought a healthy young parrot. The next day, well, talk to me. Don't you like your new home? She returned it the next day. This bird doesn't talk. Why? Doesn't he have a mirror in his cage? No. Parrots love mirrors. They see their reflection and start a conversation. The woman bought a mirror and left. The next day she returned. I installed the mirror in his cage. The bird still isn't talking. How about a ladder? Parrots love ladders. The happy parrot is a talkative parrot. The woman bought a ladder and left. But the next day she was back. Any good news? None. He's as quiet as a mouse. What could be the reason? Tell me, does your parrot have a swing? A swing? No. Well, that's the problem. Once he starts swinging, he'll talk endlessly. Are you sure? If the parrot doesn't talk, I'll sue the store. He will, madam. I assure you the parrot will talk. A mirror, a ladder, a swing. What more would a parrot want? He will talk. The woman reluctantly bought a swing and left. When she walked into the store the next day, her face was white as a sheet. One would think you saw a ghost. What happened? The parrot died. Oh, I'm so sorry. Tell me, did he ever say anything at all? Yes, right before he died. Yes? What did he say? In a weak voice he asked me, don't they sell any food at that pet store? Value recap. Sometimes we forget what's really important in life. We get caught up in an activity trap. We work harder and harder at climbing the ladder of success, only to discover that it's leaning against the wrong wall.
Wow, there was something profound to take away from that story. I look forward to our next episode, and until then, goodbye.
Want to draw like Jake? Visit aeonart.com. If you would like Jake to draw for you, visit sonaandjacob.com.